Welcome to the Not So Traveling Introvert. Today we're going to talk about, ice-breaky type questions, networky questions. It's something that even in virtual meetings now gets asked a lot because people might know what you do because it's a work situation. The typical question that gets asked is, hey, everyone, why don't you put in the chat or where you're from? And that's normally the statement. What people really mean is where you are currently dialing in from, or where you're currently situated. And something that happens a lot is, if it's not type it in the chat, it's, so where are you from? Is a question that people ask a lot as sort of an introductory, cursory thing. And this can be complicated. Because just because you are from a country doesn't mean you were brought up in that culture. And also that might not be where you feel is home to you. There are so many third and fourth culture kids around, and adults to be fair, that just because someone was born in South Africa, brought up in Canada, and currently lives in Mexico, but where their culture came from was maybe Japan, because one of their parents is Japanese, home might feel very different to them. It might be where their suitcase is. It might be South Africa. It might be Canada. It might be Japan. So asking someone where they're from can be very complicated. And teachers have expressed this when they're asking children, where are you from? And they want to put it on a world map, for example. It can be difficult to explain that, yes, okay, so my passport is from this country. And then people ask you about that country and you're like, I haven't visited there in 20 years, or I haven't been there. I didn't grow up there. And then people are like, oh, and then they don't know what questions to ask. So when you're thinking about inclusive questions to ask for networking reasons or just for everyday reasons, do keep that in mind. What some teachers have come up with instead is to ask, where is home for you? Because then the person is free to answer however they like. Word of caution. There's nothing worse than getting on a call and someone asking, so where are you? And you state where you are and oh, I wasn't expecting that answer with the accent you have. In this day and age, we can come from all over the world and be based all over the world and live all over the world. The world is an international place. So please, please don't say that. It's very insulting to be like, oh, well, I didn't expect that. I already had a predisposed misconception about you because you said you were in this part of the world. And then there's the, oh, you have an accent comment. Believe it or not, everybody has an accent because we all talk. Okay, not all. That was an unfair comment. A lot of us do talk. And if we do talk, we have an accent from wherever we might have picked it up from, or wherever we might be, or we might be able to blend and take on different accents as we move about the world in our journey. Telling someone that they have an accent is like telling someone that they have a face. We all do. It's just the way it is. So when you're thinking about things that you say, do think about how that can be misinterpreted. And so it's like, oh, you have an accent. We all have accents. Yeah, but you have an accent that's different from mine. We all have accents that are different from yours. Oh, but you have this kind of an accent. Oh, but you don't sound like you come from this part of the world. Okay, that's your opinion. That's nice. In no way is this productive. In no way is this nice. And it puts other people on the defensive, which isn't what you're trying to do, more than likely. So just keep this in mind when you're thinking of questions for networking or opening up a Zoom call. Where is home for you is far better and more inclusive than where are you from? And don't comment on people's accents. Or the age-old question, where are you really from? Let's leave that for another podcast. Thank you for listening. This is Janice at thecareerintrovert.com, helping you build your brand and get hired. Have a great rest of your week.